Do you remember a time in your life where you just had a bad report card? Back when it used to come on, pieces of paper rather than just all online? And you would just do anything for your parents to not see that report card, like putting it away and knowing that it's inevitable, but you're a kid and you're like, God, I'll do anything for them to not see this. I know I had some of those. We all did. The Patriots do too. But it's not a piece of paper. Everyone in the league knows how bad the Patriots organization is right now after the NFLPA survey report card came out yesterday, and the Patriots ranked as a franchise 31st in the National Football League. Now, that wouldn't be too bad if there were like 60 franchises in the NFL, but there's only 32. Shit out of luck, Patriots. You suck. And this is all mostly, workplace stuff. It's a union report card. So it's the Players Association workplace stuff. That's facilities, travel, treatment of families. There is one that's kind of a commitment to winning. But it's mostly that kind of thing. Not that makes it any better, but that's kind of what you're looking at with this report card. And when it comes to the commitment to winning category, the Patriots ranked 30th out of 32. 30th. And the only two owners behind Robert Kraft in terms of their commitment to winning in the NFL right now are Woody Johnson and David Tepper. This is an owner in Robert Kraft who has been vying to get in the Pro Football Hall of Fame for years now. And he probably should be in the Hall of Fame. But it's tough for me or the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame to hear your Hall of Fame case when the company you're running with right now is Woody Johnson and David Tepper. The two most reviled owners in the league. They're the only ones with a worse commitment to winning than you. The Patriots, my God, how they have fallen. Like we've seen it on the field. But in a fairly short amount of time, long time for those of us who watch every game, but 5 years, they've gone from the model franchise in all of sports to the second worst franchise in their own league, according to the players of that league. How embarrassing can you be? What an awful, awful, awful look for this franchise. And if you break it down, there's nothing good about this. They were bottom 4 in 4 categories. Bottom 4 of the teams in the entire league. 29th or worse in 4 of these categories on the report card. And you remember last year? Last year, the report card wasn't very good either. Remember that? Treatment of families was 32nd. It was an F-. Well, they greatly improved on that this year. They're 18th. C+. Congrats. Everything else, awful. So treatment of families, C+. Food, C. Nutritionist, dietitian, B. Locker room, C-. Training room, C-. Training staff, C+. Weight room, F. Strength coaches, B. Team travel, F. Ownership, D. That's my Hall of Fame owner getting a D from his own players? Oh, talk about model franchise. Those days are so long gone. And I'll note here before I get into the rest of this that the results of this report card doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, this team rated out the best on the report card. That's because they're a great team. The Falcons are third. Okay, the Dolphins are first, right? So it doesn't automatically correlate to that. The Bills are somewhere like in the middle. Okay, the Ravens, one of the model franchise in the league, 13th. Nothing spectacular, but still, the fact that you can put out this product the last few years, win 8 games in 2 years, and not even have good facilities, not even have a daycare facility for your players' kids on game days. This is where it's just horrible optics, horrible. And the travel needs more here. They're an F in travel with the aircraft. Remember how big a deal that was? The Patriots have their own planes now, and it's got all the decals on the side. Bob Kraft is lending it out to, human rights organizations and all this stuff. It's such a great thing. It was revolutionizing the league that the Patriots have their own plane. Except for the fact that the players complain it's not big enough. There's no Wi-Fi, and the armrests have goddamn ashtrays on them like it's 1987. When was the last time a plane was built with the idea of smoking in your seat? Spirit doesn't have that. Spirit does have Wi-Fi. You could buy a ticket to get on a plane for the Patriots' next destination from Boston to Indianapolis or Atlanta or whatever and get a Spirit Airlines flight for $80 and travel just as well, if not better, than the team is. Like, how embarrassing is that? You can't even travel right, let alone win football games. I mean, come on, man. The simplest of shit. And we haven't even got to the most embarrassing part here. Because this next one I'm going to tell you does shed a light on, hey, take it with a grain of salt to some extent. It's the players who are deciding on this. Some of them have not played for other organizations, don't know how it works for other organizations, but still, the highest grade the Patriots got on the report card was a B+. They got a B+ for head coach. The highest grade they got on the report card was for their head coach, the one they fired last month. And look, I agreed with the firing. I still do. But this just goes to show how bad this thing is. That the head coach that was way in over his head, that other players were complaining about, was playing cards with them on the team plane. Don't know how they managed that. Don't know how they had the room to do that, but they were certainly doing that because there was no Wi-Fi on the plane. Those were the ones who were like, yeah, that was the best part of all of this. I'll bet it was the card players who just gave him A+, and the veterans on the team were like, this is a joke, and gave him a D, and then all of a sudden you work in there for a B+ for head coach. I don't know if this could have looked any worse for the Patriots. I mean, they could have finished 32nd, But like the Arizona Cardinals, that's like barely a franchise. There's no, I know they've been around a long time, but there's no tradition. There's no legacy. There's no huge hope for them, right? There's no great fan base. There's no huge branding. They're just there. And the Patriots are only one spot ahead of them. Which means they're not as good a franchise right now, according to the Players Union, as the Carolina Panthers, the Cleveland Browns, the New York Jets. The one thing that the Patriots could have been somewhat happy about is that they have a better future than the Jets. But right now, they're in the same circles. They're at the same craps table. They're right there with the Jets. The team, the franchise that you eviscerated for 25 years. You're right there with them. In short order, you fell right down with the rest of the pack. Again, worth noting, the Chiefs' numbers aren't that great either in terms of their facilities and such, and the Patriots are getting new facilities in 2026. But could you have asked for a worse thing to come to light a couple days before NFL free agency starts? Anything? Anything worse than that? With your $120 million in cap space and you got to try to attract anybody to come and play here and you get an F on your report card? How are you going to expect anyone to come here? And what I'm seriously wondering is, this is a franchise in the New England Patriots that is on the Forbes list as the third most valuable franchise in the league. Cowboys always going to be number one, most valuable in the world, and they have their own issues. But the Patriots, third most valuable franchise in the league. And yeah, as a fan, you have to sit there and wonder, where the hell is the money going? It's not going to the product on the field. It's not going to the coaches because they can't hire good ones before Vrabel. It's not going to the facilities. It's not going to the team plane. It's not going to their travel itinerary. Where the fuck is the money going? I think that's worth a serious question here. And the way the Kraft family has lost so much banked credit over the last 3 seasons is incredible. You can't sneak one past us. We're going to ask the questions. This is not California where they say, oh, well, we had a pretty good run. This was really nice. You know, if Steph Curry and the Warriors were based in Boston, they'd be like, trade his ass and let's rebuild this thing. You can't sneak this past us. Where the hell is the money going? It sure as shit better be going to some good free agents this year. But look what they're walking into. Like, they know this is not good. They knew it was not good. Now they know it's horrible. Deplorable, even. You're a team in the middle of nowhere, South Coast, Massachusetts, with an owner who's going to hug you and kiss you, but probably isn't going to pay you. Not going to have, a daycare facility for your kids. The worst weight room and training facilities in the league. And oh yeah, by the way, you've won 8 games in the last 2 years. Who on earth wants to go there? Drake May, save us all, please. I mean, just like, it couldn't get any worse than that, man. And like, honestly, as we sit here in 2025, it's put up or shut up time for the Krafts. And that's amazing to say after the 20-year run that they had. And I still think Bob Kraft should be in the Hall of Fame based on the other owners that are in the Hall of Fame and based on what he's done in that 20-year span. But, you're George Seiferding right now. George Seifert's the only guy who coached his way out of the Hall of Fame with that dreadful Panthers stint. That's what the Patriots are going through right now. Like, Bob Kraft is just digging himself a hole. No wonder he's going on these media campaigns to get in the Hall of Fame. He knows his time is running out. Everyone's going to remember these last few years now. And their report cards and the product on the field, which is, I say it doesn't match up exactly apples to apples for all these teams. But this report card is reflective of the team you have out there on the field right now. And what it is a goddamn embarrassment. They're not even a shadow of the franchise they used to be. Again, this was the model for all the 4 major sports. And now they're one of the worst in their own league. Holding court with the fucking Browns and the Jets and the Cardinals and the Panthers. Just what in the hell happened, man?
We are Rogue Media Sports.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter here for some more outrageous Boston sports takes coming to you every weekday at noon Eastern time. And then after that, wherever you get your podcasts.
We are Rogue Media Sports.